It is day 3 of pro-Palestinian protests at Portland State University that has left the school's main library vandalized and questions of when police will move in to clear out barricaded protesters. Fox 12's Connor McCarthy is back on PSU's campus and is live to tell us about the latest message from the university president.
Well, Mia, it's unclear how many protesters still remain in the library, but University President Ann Cudd sent a campus-wide email about 10 o'clock this morning saying around 1:30 a.m. about 50 students left the building voluntarily. Now, she says the people that remain are potentially non-students who are still barricaded in the building here behind me. Now, not too long ago, our cameras caught a counter-protester shouting that PSU should be ashamed of themselves for not standing up for Jewish students, and that the Israeli hostages should be freed. The protesters inside the library came out and started pushing him, and then others from behind the barricade started throwing water bottles. The counter-protester ended up leaving, but clearly tensions are high here at the library. And besides that instance, the morning has been calm, with people and community members continuing to pass by, taking pictures of the barricade. Now, Mia, also in that email, Cudd says that those students who left this morning will not face any disciplinary actions from the university. She says the university is continuing to work on scholarships that promote Palestinian history as well, and she will also meet with student leaders on May 17th to discuss how the university can do more to promote peace around the world. But again, at this hour, 50 students did leave about 1:30 this morning, but there are still people who remain inside, and again, it's unclear how many non-students are inside the building. But for now, reporting live in downtown Portland, Connor McCarthy, Fox 12 Oregon.